what's up, guys? This is MPFSU. I haven't made a video in a while, but I was definitely inspired to make this after watching Sylphin's response to our most recent community corner. And I'm actually a fan of Sylphin's. I subscribe to his channel, enjoy his content. Um, and I definitely like the Major League stuff. I watch a good bit of that mainly because my buddy Huddy casts it with him, and I've been gaming with Huddy for a long time, and he's a good friend of mine. So definitely enjoy watching a lot of his content, and was watching a lot of his content before he was casting the Major League stuff. I enjoy the math that he does, the math videos, and you know coming up with these bills and everything. So like I said, I'm a subscriber, so but this was just based on that particular video, and it just seemed like he was, basically his points he was disagreeing with everything. And I watched the community corner, and I didn't agree with some stuff, but I did agree with some things, and that's why I made the video. So um, one of my points is basically, and my only point is how he viewed and how Epic stated their philosophy of what tanks should be. And in this video, got some video of Kwang, I main Kwang and Kwang or whatever you want to call him. I main him and Greystone. Those are the two players I main at this point, and I majorly play them in the off lane. So when Epic started talking about they didn't want tanks to 4v5, I was in agreement, because I don't go into a battle saying, well, let me 4v5 this whole group, or 1v5, I'm sorry, 1v5 this whole group, or 1v4, or 1v3. I may go 1v2 in some cases because I can out. The thing is because I'm a bruiser, so they do less damage to me. I do less damage, not as much damage as they do, but I do enough because they're not building any tank cards. So unless they are building tank cards, which I've ran into that recently in the off lane, facing a safe lane where the support was running Spriking. So and they did me in. And that's exactly what you would expect, because you can counterplay a lot of things. But I've been running unstable Cyborg since they brought the new card system. You know, um, it's awesome card, and I knew it was strong way before that. Before everybody else thought it was strong, so it was, it is what it is. But anyway, to get back to what I was um, just discussion early, their philosophy is that they don't want tanks to 1v5 anybody. They want tanks to go in and basically get to the carry's face and be like, okay, or whoever the carry is, and just, I'm here now. You have to deal with me, and the team has to deal with me, and I'm gonna do a lot of damage because I'm wearing, I'm using a card that allows me to do so. I'm getting here to do a lot of damage before I die, and then the rest of the team can follow up, or I might even live. They might be able to follow up and live, which is why they were talking about Grux going down, and it's because I don't know. I think, in my opinion, Grux, for some reason, it's maybe because his ult, I mean not his ult, I'm not his ult, I mean his grab is almost like, he's inviting damage to himself, and unless build him in a certain way, um, it's normally you go in, you pull everybody, you do your thing, and then you try to run away real fast. That's basically a Grux thing. But with Quang, you can actually stay in because of his life steal. You can stay in a long time and do a lot more damage, and that's what makes Quang a really strong hero. Is mainly because of his life steal, and then his life steal that he can actually add to his other teammates, so they have life steal. So he's very valuable in a team fight. Um, and just makes him a very strong pick to either do jungle or offlane. Just having him in the game is really a good deal. Now, the other thing that, well, I mean, that was the main thing he was discussing, talking about, is just that fact. And like I said, I disagree. I agree with what Epic was saying. Um, that if you just have a sponge that's just, you know, just boring gameplay as a tank, I mean, it's just boring. It's not a lot of fun. Um, when you only can take damage. And then how their game is designed, really, you can't really take a lot of damage anyway. I mean, and you know, you're sitting there thinking, oh yeah, he just 1v2 those people, but actually you can't. If you can see, Bellica was right there with me, doing damage as well. So and that's what a tank does: absorb damage, whereas his teammates can follow up and don't have to take all the damage. That's his job, to absorb damage, do some damage, and then that's what I'm doing. And that's why I think, that's why I say I agree with their philosophy. I think that's how they designed the game. That's how some of the off-lane characters, the most recent one, I can't think of her name right now, that has the mana that as health pool. She's designed to kind of do damage over time while she does damage, and I think that's their philosophy. That's how their characters are made. That's how the abilities for their characters allow them to do damage, even though they may be tanky, like a Grux or like a Chimera or like a Kwang or a Greystone. Greystone has a second life, so it's like, he does a ton of damage, comes back to life, and does more damage when he comes back to life. It just makes sense. That's how they designed the game. That's their philosophy, and that's why I enjoy the game, because I enjoy their philosophy of how these tanky characters should play. Because I enjoy playing tanky characters, and I don't want to be just a bullet sponge for four people versus four people. While my team, attacks, they're just gonna start ignoring me. I don't want them to ignore me. I want them to realize that, hey, I am here. Now, obviously, I do agree about the unstable cyborg thing. They said they were going to nerf it. It's going to get nerfed. Maybe the data was wrong. Who knows? Only they know more about their data than what we would know. I know a lot of people said that they've seen unstable in a lot of their games, not just Sylphin. I've reread it. A lot of people say that in Reddit too. So it is what it is. But they said they were nerfing it, and so they always listen to the community regardless anyway. In a lot of situations, in some situations it takes them a little while longer because they just don't have the thing data to support it. And so I fully stand behind what they're doing. Their balance team, I think, is doing the best job that they can to make the game the best game it can be. And nothing is perfect. Nothing's ever perfect with any game. I mean, I play a good bit of games, so I know there's always balancing and things going on with them. So that's just a part of gaming. Um, and if you played any games, you would know that. So it's it is what it is. Um, and that might be the end of my rant, but you know, good, good. I think a few people were being negative about that community corner, and and not just and not saying that the feedback wasn't constructive. It definitely was constructive, but I just don't agree with everything that he was saying. I think that what he was saying about the opposite, them getting the opposite information on one thing and then getting it, that would confuse them. No matter if it's if it's they're talking about the same thing or not, it's still in how you say it. Is if you're saying you need to say, okay, well, tanks don't. You need to say specifically, let's remove power from the tank cards if that's what your complaint is. But you're just saying, oh, you can win with four tanks. Why is that? Or people do too much damage. There's no way to interpret that. You can interpret that information any kind of way you want. So if you want. You want to be constructive in your criticism and ask for specific changes. Let's get to the bottom of the problem. What is the problem? And some people may, it could be the cards, but and they may reduce the damage of those cards at some point, but it'll still be the same game. And so that's the end of my rant. And hope you guys checked it out. If not, then you don't have to leave any feedback. But I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.